Today I'm going to talk about my piercings, which is something that I have never spoken about on my videos, I don't think, or my blog, or my Instagram, or my Twitter. I used to talk about them on my Twitter and my Instagram years ago when I got them done, but it's not really something I talk about a lot. I actually haven't had a new piercing in like 4 years because my fear of needles has gotten 10 times worse. After having so many bad blood tests, my fear of needles has kind of skyrocketed. When I used to get piercings, like the needles used to scare me and I used to feel a bit sick and feel a bit lightheaded, especially afterwards. But now I start to like dread anything to do with needles like a week or two before. I have to have blood tests like every 6 months and I just hate the thought of it. Like, talking about needles now makes me feel weird. I haven't had a piercing in like 4 years because blood tests have made me more scared of needles than I already was. Anyway, I used to be addicted to piercings and I have 12. And I always used to have like a long list of piercings I wanted. I used to go through phases of wanting more piercings, like I wanted my tongue pierced, I wanted my nose pierced. Now my piercing list is probably down to 2. I think I want my nose pierced, no 3. I want my nose pierced, my third pierced on this ear, and my diaph, is that what it's called? Pierced, which I think they're really pretty. I would always watch people's videos on their piercings and I've always wanted to do my own, which I don't know why I've never done before, but I'm going to talk about my piercings today. So the ones I'm going to talk about first is my first and my second lobes. I'm going to kind of do these in order. So my first lobes I got, which I got my hoops in, I got done when I was about 8 and I loved them. And I used to have all these pretty earrings from Claire's Accessorize, which I do still have even though I don't wear them. And I used to love changing my earrings, and then one day I woke up and the butterfly, I think they're called butterfly backs, they're what I have on my ears now, but the teeny tiny ones, was actually in my ear. It was so gross to think about, and I had to go to hospital to have it removed, and it's kind of put me off small backs of earrings for life. Never worn them since I was like 8 and now I'm 20 and I've never worn them. I always wear the big ones, or I think they're called the bell ones, but yeah, that's put me off wearing small backs of my earrings. And then I got them re-pierced when I was 9 and I had no problems with them. I did yank one out on a seatbelt when I was in LA, but I had no problems with those. And obviously I'm still wearing my earrings in them today. Never worn butterfly backs, small butterfly backs ever again. And so the second lobes I wanted done when I was 13, I think, so I pierced them myself. Obviously I knew the dangers of piercing your own ears, but I've never had any problems with them, they're fine. But it didn't hurt as badly as I thought it would have done. But yeah, I've never had any problems with those either, and I still love my first and my seconds. The next piercing is my belly button, which this photo I'm going to show you is from like 2013 because I'm not comfortable showing my stomach now because until I lose my weight, and so I'm going to use an old picture. But my belly button is one that I wanted done for a while, and I had this done when I was 14. I got it done in a shop, in a tattoo and piercing shop that was nearby me, which is now closed down. But I remember being a bit nervous about getting this done because the only things I'd had done was my ears. But they numbed my belly button and I didn't feel a thing, obviously because it was numb. I used to have like really pretty belly bars, but it's still one of my favourites. The next is my top cartilage helix, whatever you want to call it. People call it both, don't they? But I got this done when I was 15 and it's one that I wanted done for a while. I remember being a bit more scared about this one because it's on a weird part of your ear. Like, it's not just like lobe or like your stomach, it's like going through cartilage. At the time I was pretty scared, and I don't know why, because I barely, like it barely hurt. I feel like I'm quite good when it comes to tolerating pain because I'm always in pain, so I feel like I'm quite good when it comes to tolerating it. And I feel like it barely hurt. Like, it was sore afterwards and it was uncomfortable when they were doing it because they were like pulling your ear and stuff, but when it actually went through, it didn't hurt. The next is my third lobe, which I only got done on one ear here because you know those piercings that Kylie Jenner obviously had, which I have now, which go all the way up your ear? I used to love how they looked and I wanted mine exactly like that. So I only had my third pierced on one ear, this ear, because I knew I was going to go all the way up. They're classed as cartilage, so they charge you like more than they would if it was a lobe piercing. But they also use a needle instead of a gun, which I was pretty happy about because I didn't like the guns. But they do charge you more, which is also why I had one. But I remember this not hurting much either. It was on like the lobe part, but it's near your cartilage, so it's a little bit thicker, but it didn't hurt. Next is my 4th, 5th and 6th cartilage, which my 4th and my 5th were the same as the top where they barely hurt. and they were fine and stuff. The first sixth cartilage piercing I had was a bit of a disaster because I went to a different piercing shop and the piercer put like a really small bar in my ear and he was like pulling it around and it really hurt, and I'm not too sure if he knew really what he was doing, to be honest. It didn't seem like it. But anyway, I was sat in my GCSE art exam one day, and then when I got home I took the bar out and I didn't have another one to fit in it. And also the normal earrings wouldn't go through it. I'm not too sure why. They would not go through at the other side. It was at a really weird place and a really weird angle, and it was just a weird piercing. And I remember being very pissed off, but I don't have that anymore, which is why there is a gap between the 6th and the 7th, because when I got this 6th done, it was like a week or so after, and I didn't want it done where I had just had the other one done. So I had it done underneath at the original place that I had all these others done, and it was absolutely fine. So next up is my tragus piercing, and my tragus piercing is one also that I'd wanted done for a long time, and I was a bit more nervous about this one because I'd watched videos and heard people say, oh, you hear it pop or it really hurts, and that's when I decided not to listen to people when they talk about piercings, because everybody's pain is different and experience is different. Because I got worried for nothing. Like, it barely hurt, like it was sore when they were doing it a little bit because it's thicker than the other cartilage. I didn't hear it pop, partly because I can't hear out of that ear, but I didn't feel it pop or anything, but it was fine, and the next day I slept on it, so yeah. But I really love my tragus. Oh, by the way, I also got all of those done when I was 15 and the tragus done when I was 16, and when I was 17 I got my rook pierced, which is my favourite piercing, and I was more nervous about getting that done because it was in a weird place. I don't know, it just looked like it would hurt more, but they numbed it, so I was quite happy with how they numbed it, and obviously I don't feel a thing. And during getting it done, I was more focused on the spider that was above my head in the piercing shop because I hate spiders, like I'm so scared of spiders. And I was more focused on the spider, which I guess was a good but also a bad distraction from the needle and the piercing and stuff. It was a little uncomfortable because obviously she was putting my ear around, but obviously I couldn't feel the needle go in. And it was sore afterwards, like I think it was the sorest piercing. But it went after the next day and I slept on it the next night. I feel like this ear is the easiest ear, whereas this ear I didn't sleep on like for ages. My tragus and my rook piercings were the easiest I think ever. But yeah, my rook didn't really hurt. Like, it hurt afterwards, but it didn't hurt during because I couldn't feel it because it was numb. But my rook is my favourite piercing. I just think it's different and one of the weirdest piercings I have. I say weird, like it's in a weird spot. I don't know what I'm talking about. Those are my piercings. I think I went through a phase of like being addicted to getting piercings. Like, I had one and then I wanted more and then I wanted more, and it was kind of like, you know how people get tattoos and then they want more and more and more? I was like that but with piercings. Obviously I couldn't get tattoos at that age because I was underage every time I got these. But those are my piercings, and I probably link my blog post of them down in the description box because I did do a blog post on them too, which kind of goes into more detail. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!